all that, don't knock me because I put whipped cream on my body.
Nobody's talking about whipped cream right now, man.
No, I'm just saying, no, not.
I'll never knock you for that.
All right, bet.
Because I don't know. Maybe it is fantastic. I haven't tried something like that before.
Try it.
I don't think I'll enjoy it.
I got you. I'll tell Shorty to come get a whipped cream. I'll tell her, yo, get this whipped cream. Let me tell this right now.
Don't do that. Don't do none of that.
3:00 in the morning, man. Yo, yeah. So just be yourself, man. At the end of the day, be yourself, man. Love who you are.
Not always. Sometimes I found that not being myself is better.
No, well, at least no. Being yourself in 90% of the situations is always the thing to do.
Okay, I'll say this: like when I go to an event, and I know it's in my best interest to network, I don't like people, so I don't want to talk to you. But I should because I know I'll learn stuff and it's gonna be a dope experience. It's not that I'm nervous to talk to you; it's just I have no interest in your life. But it's like in situations like that, I have to not be myself.
But you do become interested when they have something interesting.
Yes, 100%. But the thing is you have to go through a lot of uninteresting people to get to the interesting person. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, just be yourself, man. It's too much going on, too much at jeopardy. And trust me when I say, even if you're not the most successful at it, you'll definitely be way more happier being yourself because you can just sit there and see a lot of people suffer doing things that they don't really enjoy doing, even though they're successful at it. Yeah. They just don't enjoy doing it because it's not who they are as a person deep down. You know what I'm saying? They eat themselves up.
You know people like that?
I try to not surround myself with those type of people, but you know, I mean, I think to an extent that we were all like that at one point though. Always trying to find ourselves and stuff like that.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, you're in a perpetual state of
But when it's to the point where it was a borderline detriment to who you were as an individual. Yeah, we were all like that at one point, but you just have to start identifying who you are, recognizing the pros and cons of who you are as a person.
We both have Reebok shorts on, man. That's dope.
Why you just stop me and
I just noticed that
prolific I'm about to say.
You might have had a quote coming up or something. I just fucked it up.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Yeah, I guess we're never gonna get that moment back. I apologize for that.
Anyway, just be yourself. You sitting there trying to figure out who you are, and then you weigh out the pros and cons and stuff like that, and then you gonna figure out you have flaws.
You weighs out who they are in pros and cons.
Yes, you do.
You might be the sociopath in the situation.
No, everybody does. Yeah, you don't literally sit there and say, I'm good. Like you don't actually like what, but you just figure out what you're bad at. You fix what you fix.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bet.
You fix what you're bad at. You work on it and stuff like that. But you also accept things that you can't change who you are, and then you just grow as an individual. You constantly.
You know what?
Yourself.
I noticed that growing up. These teachers brainwashed everybody to believe that like you can do anything. I can't be in the fucking NBA. Like I wasn't born with that height. You know what I mean? And then you find out.
No, I hate NBA players who lie about their height because then they perceive this idea that you have to be XYZ tall, but you don't actually have to be. Like Chris Paul is not 6 feet tall.
He's as tall as me.
Yeah.
I might be taller than Chris Paul.
You might be taller than him.
Yeah.
People just lying about their height and stuff like that, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. You can actually be a 6 foot individual and be in the NBA and be really good at it.
Word. I watched a lot of Jordan Peterson. He kind of brought it to my attention that a lot of you is biological. Now, that sounds very obvious, but you don't think that because they're like, oh, you could be anything. You could be an engineer, agent. No, I can't. I fucking suck at math. And my memorization is horrible. So when my mom would get pissed at me for losing hats, did she know that it was her fault? Because she has a bad memory too. So I'm like, I got this from you. So it's like, don't get mad at me now. This was you. So it's like, as a kid, I just thought, oh, I'm not trying hard enough to remember that I didn't do this. But now I recognize, and I did some tests. I did a few tests, Lo, and this is crazy. I'm in the bottom 5% at people my age when it comes to memory, and I'm in the top 2% at people my age when it comes to problem solving.
I believe it.
And so it's like, that's biological. So then you find out, like, okay, you want to be an athlete? You might not have the type of muscle fiber that's going to make you incredibly competent at the sport you want to be good at. If you want to be a sprinter and you have type 1A muscle fibers, you're fucked. because now you need to start running marathons. But it's like, that's your muscle, for you can't change that, which means you have a ceiling. Steve Nash can't be explosive. It's nothing that he didn't do in the gym. It's just that that's the way he was born. And so it's like, then you realize, okay, that's biological too. Your brain, everything about your brain is biological. Growing up, I was always like obsessive about shit that I love, which is why I couldn't stop playing video games and I couldn't stop doing YouTube, but I couldn't stop eating neither. And that's not a thing. It's probably a bunch of habits that I developed, but I think that it became more likely because of the way that I am already. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I wish people taught me that growing up, because then I could have moved differently knowing that. I don't have to, I suck at memorizing. The second I figured that out, I just moved differently. I just studied longer. So there was people that studied half the time that I studied in uni, and we get the same grades. And it didn't piss me off. It was just, that's not what I was good at. So I just found out the things I was good at. And then I didn't do what you just said. I didn't try and work on the things I was bad at. I'm never going to get good at memorizing shit. I don't think I'm ever going to get good at plenty of stuff. I just try and get good at the things I'm already good at and be like really, really good at those things.
No, you do try to get better at things that you're not good at. I've seen you do it in the last 6 months.
Like what?
You just said it in the last podcast where you saying, yeah, I don't think people like to listen to someone talk about when I'm talking about
but that's just being not a horrible person.
Yeah, so you just worked on not being a horrible person. Exactly. So
I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like I said before, there are some things that you can't change. You're right. There are just certain things about who you are that you can't change. So you have to accept it, and like you said, just move a little differently. But there's also things you can change, just work on it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, be yourself.
Not that you can't change things, because I think a lot of you is malleable, but that you're gonna have different ceilings based on biology. So if you want to be the best at something,
but like you said, there's no need to even spend either little to any time trying to fix something that is almost unchangeable. Like it just can't be changed. Like Steve Nash sitting there doing, trying to figure out how he can dunk higher. Like, what's the point of that? What's the point of him working out on his dunking ability?
Word.
If he's just not going to be that type of player.
Facts.
So you accept that who you are, and you just try to advance in other departments when it comes to trying to execute him on a basketball court.
But you can't accept that's who you are if your whole life you're being taught that you can do whatever you want.
Oh, agreed. You
can't do whatever. I'll tell you guys right now. You can't do whatever you want. You have to figure out the shit that you could be the best at and then focus on that.
Agreed.
You can't do whatever you want. Like, I think growing up, I used to watch shows like Big Time Rush and just dream about like, oh man, I wonder if I just had like one day of being really famous and being an actor. Can't do that. I suck at memorizing. So the whole time I can't even act properly because I'm trying to remember my fucking line. And then let me find out this bozo over here fucks up his line. It really fucks up my line. And then I'm just lost. So that's not for me because, well, maybe I could be eyed at it. Definitely not going to be great at it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, people, just start trying to reach perfection, you know what I'm saying?
I know, but just do that.
But just no.
Just don't be miserable in the process. Be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Like I'm fat as shit right now, but like when I walk into the shower, I don't look at myself like, oh, you fucking fat blob. I'm like, oh man, ooh, because I have the music playing, right? And I just get in the shower happy as shit.
But even when you go in the shower, you still subconsciously be like, this is something I can work on.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's certain things that again like you can work, because the thing that be killing me going back to like the whole IG thing is like models be sitting there be saying like, yo, really, love your body, love who you are,
and then they'll Photoshop
and then they'll Photoshop pictures. Like it's like, what are you doing? Like that is you're literally just promoting something that is causing depression amongst people because they can't love themselves, because your imagery of what a perfect body looks like is unattainable, because to the point where you're photoshopping yourself.
Word.
So it's like, yeah, stuff like that is just, that's why I don't be on Instagram. That shit toxic.
Facts. And I get concerned when people around me are on Instagram too much. You know what I mean?
That shit toxic.
Yeah, because it's like, you got some of that toxic in you now. Once you consume enough of that.
I told baby girl, like, you got to chill out for a second on the IG. Just put the phone down and just step away. That shit toxic.
You told her that?
Oh,
did she put it down?
No, she didn't.
I know the answer was no.
We had an argument. I threw the phone on the floor though, so
I know you're not fantasizing stories right now.
I did.
I know you didn't do that, bro.
I snatched out the phone and just, I ain't like broke the phone. I just threw it on the floor like, yo, chill out, bro. Okay. Especially when I'm around, you already know you acting up. So you know what I'm saying? Go get the whipped cream real quick, or you can go ahead and get this straight. You gonna get this popping.
We gonna have to get a sponsorship or something.
That's fact.